What's up, everybody? It's the movie guy. So I just got done watching The French Connection 2, and Popeye Doyle, is heading over to France to go catch Charnay, who was who they didn't catch during the bust in the first French Connection. So, and he heads over to France to work with the police department detectives over there trying to catch Charnay. They don't know where he is, and they do run into some of the people that are working for him, and so they slowly get details. There's one point where the French police is following Doyle around. I don't know if it's to protect him or just make sure he doesn't do anything. Doyle doesn't have his gun with him, so which is freaking weird. And there's a point where I'm going to try not to spoil this too much. There's a point where Doyle gets captured by Charnay's guys, and they fill Popeye up with drugs. So he's on this drug trip for like 4 or 5 days until the French police find him. And um, there's also a point where there's a big action scene and something happens, and the detective goes to Doyle's hotel and was just like, I need your passport. There's a train. I mean, not a train, but there's a plane heading back to New York, and they want you on there. And Doyle's just pissed off because he really wants to catch this guy since he got away from him when they did the big drug bust. So, um, but before he heads out, they stake out the ship where they had a big shootout where they were going to ship the drugs off. And man, there's this scene where the police, Doyle and the French police, like bust the drug bust, like the place where they're making the drugs and stuff and everything. And then Charnay like takes off, and Doyle is just running all through the downtown of France, while Charnay's on this like um trolley, and then loses him, and then he's on this boat, and he's just running and following the boat. Oh my god, the running that Gene Hackman had to do this movie. And I'll just say Popeye gets his justice, but I it had a very weird ending in a sense. I will say that the movie was good. Popeye he did keep his humor from some of the scenes, like in the first one. I thought in the first one he like it was better. And he was just out of place. One of the funniest scenes is there was a point where Popeye goes to this bar, and he doesn't speak French, so he's just like he doesn't know how to interact with none of the people in France. And there's a point where they finally talk to the bartender, and he gets a drink and stuff and everything, and then the bartender has a drink with them and stuff and everything, and both of them get really super drunk together. There's a point where he's kind of looking at these two ladies are sitting at the tables having a drink too, and he's trying to interact with them, asking them like if he could sit with them and stuff and everything, but she doesn't speak English. And he goes back to the bar, and he's like, yeah, well, they get up and start to leave, and Popeye's just like, you can kiss my Irish ass. And they just kind of like walk out the door, and he's like, yeah, that got him, because he doesn't they don't speak English. So I thought that was a really funny scene. But overall, um it had a decent story. It had some decent action, but I don't think this was as good as the first one. I thought the first one was just so fantastic. I think it had a better story. I don't know if I like the whole idea of it taking place in France and everything, but I'm gonna give it a like 7 out of 10. I think it's good. It's not great, but it would have been interesting to see what this movie would have been like if William Friedkin would have came back to direct this movie. But overall, I did enjoy myself watching this. But yeah, like I said, it's not as good as the first one. But anyway, that's it from the movie guy. I am so exhausted. I'm going to bed. So anyway, have a great night, everybody. I'll talk to you.